to our Naval Station Newport's YouTube channel. I'm Teresa, your host, and today I'm actually here with Lindsay, the Officers Club General Manager, and Maria here. Lindsay is actually a licensed cosmetologist, and she's going to help us by showing us how to do a nice home haircut for those of us that might not be comfortable going to a salon quite yet, or maybe our salons aren't open that are our favorite. So we're actually going to get started. So Lindsay, how do we get started doing a haircut?
So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the hair is wet. You can cut the hair dry. It's just when it's wet, it falls evenly, and you can create a cleaner cut that way.
All right, perfect. Let's get started.
So once you have it all nice and wet, you're going to want to part her hair. So what you do is you go right from the top of the head, right in the middle, and you go down right behind the ear. So now that you have your two side parts, we're going to cut the back first. So what you want to do is take your comb and pull the hair that's all on the back, and you're going to make your first line. Okay, so now that we have our first section, this one's gonna create your guide. And what that does is, this is the first one that you cut. So the rest of the hair that you drop down, you're gonna cut up to this. Now, you can do this a couple ways. You don't have to use professional scissors. You can use scissors from your home, just make sure they are very sharp. Obviously, professional scissors will work a little better, but as long as you have sharp scissors at home, you'll be okay. Now you can do this however you want, but I like to start in the middle of the section opposed to the right or the left side, just so you can go from the middle and you can work your way out and keep more of a straight line. So once we have our first one, you want to comb again, and you just match it right up and go across. And then go to the other side and go across. Okay, so if you miss a piece, that's okay, because you're just gonna keep combing, and you just keep combing over and over again until they're all pulled down, and then you get them all off. Now, you wanna make sure it's straight. So you go like this. Do my two ends match? Yes, they do. So now we're done with our guide. So then we go back up. Take another section of hair. Now you want to do the sections of hair, the size really depends on the thickness of the hair. So if you have thicker hair, you want to do thinner sections so that you can still see through the section to your guide. So when you comb down, you can see the guide. So here is the hair that I previously cut, and here is the new hair that I want to cut. So when you comb, you see your guide, and that is where you're going to cut up to. Then we have our first half. And then you're just gonna repeat those steps until you have all the hair laying down. Okay, so now that we're all done, you want to make sure that you have an even line. So you can just go by your eyesight, that's fine. However, you can pull from both sides and match them up. Now, if they're even, you're even. If not, there's a couple ways you can fix it. You can take the longer piece, make it that length of the other side, and then go across your line again and just line it all up and make sure that you're straight. Now we're gonna do the front part of the hair. We still have our hair parted in the front and the back sections. So what you want to next is you want to make sure that her part is where it normally is. So we have her part where it normally falls.
So Lindsay, can I ask a question? So say somebody like myself has like a side part. Would you still cut it being a side part, or would you have to still cut it in the middle?
So it depends on if they have layers or not. So with somebody like you, I probably part more towards the middle. And then when you do your layers, it works out where your side part is.
Perfect.
So what we're gonna do is now our guide is in the back. So we pull a section of hair from the back, and you're gonna wanna bring it forward. So now here is your guide for the front. So now the first thing you're gonna wanna do is take your sections. Now this also depends on the thickness of the hair. So if you have somebody that is super thick haired, you're gonna wanna do multiple sections. But usually in the front, you can get away with less sections than in the back. So with Maria here, I'm gonna do 2 sections. Now, then you're gonna take a little bit from the back and bring it forward. And now that's gonna be your guide. So here we are. Now you will notice that when you bring it forward, it's gonna be on a slight angle. So it depends on, what you prefer. I like to go from the longest point of the guide. You can do it however you like. Now, as you can see, her hair is drying, so I don't want that. So we just come back in here. So you don't want it to be dry because her hair has a slight wave to it. So when it dries, it tends to bounce up a little bit. So you want it all to fall where it's going to fall. Because if I cut it, when it's dry and it's raised up a little bit, you're gonna get uneven. And then we do the same thing. We bring it down, you cut onto your guide, and then we do the same thing for the other side. And there we have it. So now that you have a whole head cut, what you want to do is make sure they're even. So again, you just pull them down to the side and match them up, make sure that they're even, and you're good to go. And that's your basic one length at-home haircut.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. A big thank you to Lindsay and a big thank you to Maria. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye.